Blue Bloods has been going strong ever since 2010, and fans still love the Reagan family. The cast behind the characters are just as solid. They are pretty popular, but there are still a lot of cast secrets that fans never knew about. Let's go behind the scenes and check out some secrets, some of the cast's real-life partners, secrets behind Sunday family dinner, nicknames, and so much more. What do they drink? The family likes to get together to talk about all the drama that surrounds them, and there are times when they have to get together to sit around and have a drink. But interestingly enough, as a proud family of Irish Americans, they all seem to drink Scotch whiskey instead of Irish whiskey. I'm not entirely sure whether that is just a mistake or just something that writers chose to do, or it could have just been a decision maker feeling that Scotch whiskey is better. I don't know what the reason is behind it, but it's pretty funny when you start noticing it. Still, the amounts of drinks they have in most episodes is a lot. There's wine with Sunday family dinners, and whiskey when they're just chatting, and all the times in between when someone reaches for a drink. Imagine if they actually drank all those drinks in the show, not to mention all the times that they need to do multiple takes for each scene. The entire cast would be completely hammered by the time that they have shot 5 minutes. That's probably why the props department has chosen substitutes. For the whiskey, they use iced tea, and for the wine, they use grape juice. How close are Tom Selleck and Donnie Wahlberg? Playing father and son, Frank and Danny Reagan for 11 years seems to have rubbed off on the actors. They're now super close. During a recent interview, Donnie has said that they even call each other dad and son after building their personal relationship after all this time working together. According to Donnie, it took them a while to warm up, and he thinks Selleck used to think Wahlberg was a bit weird, but things have completely changed around now, and they have a close bond off camera too. I love this. They have one of the best relationships on screen, and I love that it's the same way off screen too. They even have been known to hug each other at times. And both of those guys are great tippers. The whole thing started when a single mom who was working in Michigan at a restaurant got a tip of $2,020 on a bill of $23. She said that it would help her build a future. Then Donnie Wahlberg picked up the trend and gave the same tip at an IHOP for his $78 check. His server was pretty excited, and she said that the entire restaurant knew it when she opened up the bill. I can only imagine all the excitement of seeing one of your favorite guys from television and New Kids on the Block in person, and then he leaves such an incredible tip. It had to have been incredibly exciting. The trend went wide, and many people got inspired by it and left bigger than normal tips, including Tom Selleck, but he kept the $2,020 tip he left at a restaurant a secret from Donnie for weeks. When Donnie did eventually find out, he posted a sweet message on Twitter about the gesture. It was a pretty awesome trend, and I must say the first time ever, I wished I could have been a server too. I mean, come on, they put up with so much, they probably deserve tips like that most of the time. Secrets about Sunday family dinners. For most fans of the show, the Sunday family dinners is one of the highlights of each episode. Generally, they happen more towards the end or middle of the show. It's the one scene where most of the family is together, and we get to see the main cast members all interacting. The family is the heart of the show, so it's fun to see them coming back together despite any issues they have faced or any drama they have among each other. You would think it's probably a shot towards the end of the show, but in reality, it's normally first on the shooting schedule and done around 9 a.m. in the day, and they actually have to eat dinner, which seems like a perk of the job, and some of the actors like Donnie Wahlberg does enjoy it, but for others, it seems to be torture doing it over and over again. Tom Selleck has said it's the worst part of shooting Blue Bloods for him because they have to eat the same food all day. Sometimes shooting that scene can take up to 8 hours. That's why you'll never see easily perishable foods for dinner. There's usually no fish for dinner at the Reagans since, they probably don't want to give their entire main cast food poisoning right at the start of the shooting of an episode. Danny Reagan's sons. Like I said, the family is important, and there's a lot of focus on how the younger generation Reagans grow up and learn how to juggle in a family that is in the public eye, but also has very strict codes of conduct. It can be tough. One of the things fans love about the show is the fact that all the children have been the same since the start, and they have all really grown up before our eyes. That brings us to Danny Reagan's two sons, Sean and Jack. But a really cool fact that many people don't know, the fact that the younger generation of Reagan brothers is actually brothers in real life too. They're played by Andrew and Tony Terraciano. They were child models who went into acting, and the two of them were cast as Danny's sons when they were only 8 and 6 years old. So yeah, they're brothers in real life. Did you know that? Or how close some of the cast members are? Let me know in the comments, but we're far from done. Let's see which cast members have close ties to the NYPD and how the show makes sure that they're realistic. How do they make the show realistic? The show is true blue focused on the police while trying to touch on some of the problems there are with modern policing. Plus, the NYPD is really unique, and the show tries really hard to focus on being realistic. This is why they have an NYPD detective read each script before they start filming it. Then he gives them loads of notes on things like jargon that needs to be put into the dialogue. It helps to give the show an air of credibility among cops, and they say that there are a lot of police that watch the show too. Which of the the cast members are closely connected to the NYPD. Abigail Hawks plays Detective Abigail Baker in Blue Bloods. Her character is one of Frank's right hands on the show, and she's, well, awesome. And the actress behind the character is just as impressive. She started acting while still getting her college degree, and she's a cast member who has some very close ties to the NYPD in real life. She's married to FDNY Lieutenant Brian Spies. The couple got engaged in 2009 and married soon after. She's really private, so we don't know much more than that, except she has 2 sons. They almost didn't shoot in New York. New York is almost like a character in this show, so it's almost unthinkable for them to have filmed the show anywhere else. But then again, many shows aren't filmed in the same place they're set. New York has a huge state and city taxes, and the creators worry that those would be just too high to be able to film there and still get it on budget. They were thinking of moving the entire thing to Toronto while still setting in New York, but thanks to some clever negotiations, they were able to get a good deal on rates from the state government. So they stayed in their hometown and kept the feeling of authenticity. They almost made a massive mistake. When Tom Selleck joined the cast of Blue Bloods, he was already very well known. I mean, he was the original Magnum P.I. and as Dr. Richard Bork, plus a bunch of other shows. People knew him well, and his mustache was kind of his signature look, right? But when they started planning Blue Bloods, the producers felt he might be a bit old for his dark mustache. They actually wanted him to shave it off. How wild is that? I can't imagine Tom Selleck or Commissioner Frank Reagan, for that matter, without his mustache. Luckily, CBS executives decided that they wanted him to keep it and have it stick around. I don't think he would have been able to look as serious as he does without his mustache, let's be real. Blue Bloods is such a great show that has stood the test of time, and it's always evolving. Which cast members is your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.